Gather around the fire, children. It's story time with Uncle Moon Lambo. Now, given the price action, I know that there are some people listening right now who are a little bit getting in their feels about things, a little anxious, let's say. XRP prices dropped. It's dropped a fair bit. Now, of course, the whole market's down, so we'll address some things here. But I have to tell you, we've seen this story before, and frankly, when it comes to crypto, like, this is what you should expect. It's extremely volatile, and I'll give you a couple examples right out the gate here. But before going any further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 1:15 p.m. Central Time, Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. XRP is down to $2.57. You know, in a way, I don't know if it sounds weird to you, but I love that I can even say that. It's down to $2.57 because almost 100% of the time that I've been holding XRP, it's been way under $1. So this is a delight to see. And you could say, well, you were just so fortunate. You were so lucky. You were there at the right time where you could purchase it when it was so low. Well, setting aside the discussion of how that took me the better part of a decade and I had to sit there and be patient and not technically know for sure, setting that aside, let's talk about percentage changes because that's a highly relevant topic. This stuff happens in crypto all the damn time and it scares people every time. And I will address it every time it happens because it's necessary. I get it. We're all humans. You invest your real money and then it goes down and you're panicking, is it going to stop? Oh my God, did I invest in the wrong thing? Is it going to zero? I get it. I understand that. But what I'm telling you is that crypto is doing what crypto does right now, this very second. You don't like it as much when it goes to the downside. Fair, rational, makes sense, yeah. But you'll love it when it goes to the upside. And if you look at data, then you know that XRP and the rest of the market on the whole, it trends to the upside. And so you either have exposure to the asset and the asset class when that happens, or you don't. Let's look at the 90-day chart for XRP. Need I remind you? And I think the answer is yes. So XRP on December 2nd, it hit what was then the cycle high. It actually hit, I know it's not showing on this, but that's because this shows the daily close on Live Coin Watch. It doesn't show how high it wicked. But XRP got up to at least $2.90 on December 2nd. Do you guys remember that? Everybody's in euphoria. Everybody's thrilled. But then it cratered. Remember what it was a week later? And again, it doesn't show it necessarily the lowest price here. It's probably close to this, but here you can see December 10th, 8 days later. $1.95. Was the party over? No, the party was not over. Did it mean that XRP was no longer useful and the utility just vanished and that's what the market's reflecting? No. What I'm arguing is none of this that we've seen has a whole lot of anything to do with utility. Look, if utility is there and it matters, the people that recognize it, frankly, are the people that buy in the depths of the bear market. They're the ones that prevent coins from going to zero if they actually believe in those coins. Then, when you have moments of euphoria, everybody else just jumps on in, they pile in, and then you get these big old green candles, and those are going to be a bunch of people that aren't so well researched on whatever the hell it is that they're buying. That's the truth. So did the utility go away because the investors who are more likely to buy on big old green candles and panic sell on the way down, because they did that, does that mean the utility's gone and the people that have held the fort for the last nearly decade, they were wrong? Oh, come on. That's certainly not the case. And I've seen way bigger percentage drops than this. Even if you set aside the government intervening when they sued Ripple and then XRP dropped down to from close to 60 cents down to 16, 17 cents, something like that in 2020. Throw that out. What about March of 2020 in the pandemic? I was there for that too. I don't remember exactly what the price of XRP was when that hit, but I think it was maybe 30 to 40 cents. I think it was somewhere around there. XRP dropped literally to 10 cents. People, you want to talk about afraid? And you can go back and listen to my videos back then in March 2020. Was I afraid? Absolutely not. In fact, I bought that dip. I wasn't able to buy the actual bottom because that's not reasonable, but I did purchase as low as 15 cents. That's the cheapest I ever bought XRP in my entire life, March of 2020. Now, did that mean the world was over and everything was going to zero? And that was no, and the whole market was tanking. So here you can see Bitcoin's down to $97,409. XRP is just moving in tandem with the rest of the market. And yes, percentage-wise, it's down more than Bitcoin. It's down 13.33% at the time of recording this. But look at Ethereum. It's down almost 10%. What else we got here? Solana down 12.4%. Binance Coin not as much, 7.4%. What about other top 10 coins? Doge is in number 8 here. It's down 16.5%, worse than XRP, percentage-wise. So is Cardano, 13.78%. And Tron's down a little over 9%. So just to be clear, there's nothing wrong with XRP specifically. And then you could also more broadly be concerned about, okay, well, does this mean that the entire market cycle is over? And also there, I don't believe for a second that's the case. I've seen this type of price action scare people out, shakes out the lettuce hands too many times before we then go on to the final euphoria. Like, I don't believe for a moment that's most probable. I always admit I don't know. Nobody technically knows for sure. But I believe that history tends to rhyme with itself pretty well. So let's see what some chart analysts are saying here. This is from Credible Crypto. Starting with Bitcoin, which basically holds the key to the rest of the market at the moment, we failed to see any significant bounce off of our primary support zone. So instead of taking the highs and then coming down to test the second support zone, it looks like we may test it sooner rather than later. Most importantly, testing the second support zone is healthy and not a cause for concern. Losing it, however, opens up the door for a more significant correction, so watching to see how price interacts with this region is key. And so I want to note, you're going to find the analysts that have been here for a while, they are not afraid of this at all. And holders like me who have been around for a long time and know that this is something to be expected in crypto, we're also not afraid. It doesn't make logical sense to be afraid here. And so it's possible we could go lower, but I will note that Credible Crypto doesn't think that even if you go to a lower support zone that this party's over. No, you're going to see a blow off top ultimately. It doesn't make sense to be fearful. And here's another cool thing, and I hope that this provides additional peace for any of you out there, even though I can't tell you what's right for you in investing, and I would never assume to know. I'm not even a finance guy. I'm just a dude on the internet. But I firmly believe what I'm about to say. Another reason that I never panicked over the years after I got, when I was brand new to crypto, there were some moments, and I've talked about that before, but outside of, like late 2018 after that, the reason I never panicked ever again is because, like, I was really more so focused on the quantity of XRP that I held. It was more about stack and drops, right? Stack and drops. That's what I was interested in. And I understood that even in bull markets, even if we weren't going to hit a new all-time high, even if we go into the depths of a bear market before I'm able to sell, I understood that it wouldn't matter because it's not like the utility ceases to exist. So it could be disappointing in the sense that, yeah, you have to wait another X number of years before you have an opportunity for the whole market to rise. That's true. But am I financially destroyed because of that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so I just spent years and years as that actually happened, just accumulating more. That's literally what I did. It's fine. So but my point is, even if we don't get to sell now and this is the end of the party, which I do not believe, it doesn't mean it's the end of crypto. Crypto pie gets bigger. It's so if you don't need to pull this cash out, if you don't have to in the next 1, 2, 3 years, if you really did the right thing, which I hope you guys did, and you only invested what you're not going to need in the short term, and you only invest what you're willing to lose just in case you're wrong. If you did that, then you don't have to worry about it. As long as you've got a job and you can put food on the table in the meantime, you're good. And that's one of the reasons I was able to keep my sanity over this whole period of time, because I didn't need it. It didn't matter. And the whole time, even when it went down, I just knew that was people being people. And I knew that didn't indicate that it wouldn't at some point go up in the future. Even when the XRP was at 10 cents, I still believed it would hit a new all-time high. And it finally did. And it took a long ass time, didn't it? Yeah, it took, from that point in March 2020, it took almost 5 years, but I was right. It did hit a new all-time high, but it went from 10 cents to $3, and I guess the high was technically $3.39 now, something right around there. And I still believe it's going to enter price discovery. Here's a post from Charting Guy. Said, Bitcoin daily update. In my last post, I said, if we were to break through to the downside, this would be the area to do so. I think if we don't get back above it soon, we will by mid-February at the latest. As I've been saying, I'm not bullish until then. And so there are some people that have recognized, and analysts, that you could see a drop like this. Here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto, hashtag Bitcoin. It seems like one more pain before $120,000. And so here's yet another analyst that's been around for a while, and he's like, yep, well, there you go. Just par for the course, effectively. Not a big problem. Here's a post from the blockchain backer, and this is just from a little less than an hour and a half ago, right at noon. Today, at noon, he posted, just got out of church, so not at PC. Direct messages blowing up. XRP clearly in the violent back test. And there you go. I think that you could say that this is pretty violent, but I am so unstunned and unfazed by this. I've seen way too many drawdowns like this. I've seen drawdowns for XRP way bigger than this, including in bull runs. Like it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Either we're right in an interest price discovery one day, or we're wrong and it goes to zero. That's still true. That's always been true. So what do you think? Is this some sort of sign that the limiting retail investors out there that are buying and selling based on emotions, they know better than the institutions that buy for other reasons and people building on top of specific blockchains like the XRP ledger? Like, what do you think? And the people that actually bought in the depths of the bear market, like they're wrong? I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. Because the people that bought at the depths of the bear market, which are the ones that have kept XRP in the top 10 coins by market cap its entire existence, those are the people who are way more in the know than the people who jump in, the Wayfair fans, who jump in when the market gets hot. Those people don't know a damn thing. And no offense if you're new to crypto, I don't mean it in a condescending way necessarily to you, but it is true on the whole. Like if you're talking about a group of people, yeah, they don't know. They're new, they just jumped in, and that's that. And even if they're not new, maybe they did it 4 years ago and they're acting the same way again. It just is. Like that's just how this is. Here's another post from the blockchain backer at 12:29, so a little less than an hour ago. He said, here you go, current plus 3 examples. I did not think the blip we had on the 11th through 15th was our second bull flag, but obviously it was. We've already tested into it. These don't tend to last long. And you can see he's got several charts, including XRP, and not exactly concerned. These don't tend to last long. Here's a post from chart analyst Bobby A. This beautiful and necessary correction has completely reset sentiment and should make you feel calm and confident. It is all part of the journey to $8 to $13. No one ever said this would be easy. Then he says, those sweating this corrective move are the same people who were FOMO buying just a few weeks ago, expecting up only all of the time. However, the reality is that assets do not move up in straight lines. Corrections in bull markets are necessary and provide opportunity. Spot on. That is absolutely correct. This doesn't mean that we're not going to see the price of XRP way higher. And if all the market analysts that think we're going to have an alt season that has crazy euphoria at the end, if they're wrong about that, and as a result XRP doesn't participate, you know what? If I have to wait another several years to sell my XRP, then I'm going to do it because I don't choose that. I don't choose when we have blow-off tops like that. Now, I still think it's coming this market cycle, but I'm saying I am at peace with that. And if you don't have that mentality, you're going to have a hard time in crypto. You got to have that long-term mentality, and you got to make peace with the fact that you are not steering this vehicle. Like, you are not in charge of that. You get to observe when it happens. You know? That just is the case. Here's a post yesterday from chart analyst E-Grade Crypto, which I shared at the time. XRP daily analysis at 21 EMA. XRP is currently retesting the 21 EMA, and the lower boundary of the triangle is around $2.93. It could go lower, but it likely won't drop below $2.83, the purple ascending trend line. And so, mind you, when we're talking about chart analysis, it's about probabilities, not certainty. And sometimes, even if you're right to think something's not as probable, sometimes improbable things happen. So that doesn't mean somebody's wrong. The type of people that say that means he was wrong don't know what the hell they're talking about. Chart analysis, and I'm not a chart guy myself, but this is a very easy concept. Chart analysis is about probabilities, okay? It's not about being a wizard and making price predictions with 100% pinpoint accuracy. That's just absurd. Anyway, then he says, breakout scenarios of symmetrical triangle. Upside would be $4. Downside target, $2.40. And he put it at like 50-50 odds. That's what he said yesterday. So I shared it at the time. Like, I'm not afraid to share, analysis from any analyst, even if they think it's to the negative. In fact, the negative stuff, it's harder to find in a bull market, as I've been highlighting recently. And then he had this update today, 11:59 a.m., so about an hour and a half ago. He says, 21 EMA update. XRP chart on your screen. Sorry for calling for this crash, but the chart indicated it was a possibility. We could see a drop as low as $2.30, with $1.90 being the last line of defense. If you're looking for a dip to buy, this is it. But don't let fear hold you back. We could see a drop as low as $2.30, with $1.90 being the last line of defense. If you're looking for a dip to buy, this is it. So he copied and pasted it, which is why I read it. But don't let fear hold you back. I think he actually did it twice. But excuse me. But again, this is not something to be freaking out about. XRP is not broken. The market is not broken. This happens all the damn time. There are tons of pullbacks way, way, way worse than this throughout history. This isn't one of the worst, but I understand even one of this scale that happens this quickly, it's going to freak people out. I understand that. So, as is always the case, I don't know if by the time you're watching this, the price is lower or higher, but I insist that in the short term, it just doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Either we're right or we're wrong. These little blips on the radar ain't going to matter. You're not even going to remember this probably in a few years. There are too many instances like this. Like if you fast forward half a decade, are you going to remember this exact one? I mean, maybe you will, but there's going to be too many of these along the way. So if you're regularly paying attention for a span of years, I doubt it. I've been through so many of these. Like I couldn't call out all of the ones like this I've been through. There are far too many. It doesn't matter. But the crypto pie gets bigger. I remember in 2017 when the market peaked around $850 billion, and then a year later it dropped to what? Something like $150 billion for the entire asset class? Was that the end of the world? No. Now we're at $3.45 trillion. Isn't there a lesson there? Like if you just hold and you have broad exposure, then you get what you deserve. You just do. That's just how it works. But if you panic sell every time this crap happens, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to be a sad banda. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.